I always cry at weddings. Our young lovers together at last. Surely now they can live happily ever after. But you forget.
She's still my wife! I'll not leave here empty-handed!
You. Emily.
You!
But I left you.
For dead.
This woman is obviously delusional. Sorry to cut things short, but we must be on our way.
Take your hands off her.
Do I have to kill you too?
As Barkins is walking down the aisle, he is making sarcastic comments to show his disrespect towards matrimony. And then, to further emphasize this, he violently yanks Victoria, his wife, away from Victor. His sarcastic tone when referring to Victoria's happily ever after plays off of the to death do us part theme that the movie is centered around, with Barkins killing Emily, Victor being willing to die to be with Emily, and eventually Barkins dying for Victoria to be able to be with Victor. There's the literal jaw drop to represent the reader's reaction to what Emily has just revealed to us. And when Victor, an otherwise mild-mannered character, aggressively stands up to Barkins, he's showing his true love for Victoria. When Scraps bites Barkins, it symbolizes the hatred of the dead towards Barkins for killing their innocent and beloved corpse bride. Emily's innocence is shown through her white dress, and her sadness is reflected by the blue undertone that she has.
Jay, you're playing fair, sir.
The actual fight sequence is an internal battle Victor is having throughout the movie. In the beginning, he's very shy and very nervous about the whole wedding. But after accidentally marrying Emily and going on this crazy adventure, he becomes more brave and more courageous and is able to fight his fear for what matters most, and that is true love. The fight ultimately symbolizes that internal battle and also kind of the final battle he has with that fear. Besides being a comical relief in somewhat serious situation, the cook tossing Victor the fork instead of the knife symbolizes how everyone views Victor. The fork is obviously a lot weaker than a knife, but a pen is mightier than a sword situation. During the fight, Victor manages to cut 3 cuts onto Barkis's coat, essentially symbolizing the 3 injustices he's done in life. He tricked Emily, killed her, and then tried to do the same to Victoria. And it's sort of a 3-strikes you're out. And finally, Lord Barkis stabbing Emily shows not only what Emily is willing to do for Victor because she loves him, but also foreshadows to the past of when Lord Barkis originally killed her. And essentially, if he hadn't killed her, we wouldn't have this movie.
Touché, my dear.
Get out.
Oh, I'm leaving. But first, a toast to Emily. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Tell me, my dear, can a heart still break once it's stopped beating?
Let me at him! Let me at him! No, don't hold me
Wait.
back!
We must abide by their rules. We are amongst the living.
Well said.
right, he's all yours.
First off, when Emily takes the sword from her stomach, it symbolizes her finally realizing that Barkis was the one who killed her, and figuratively taking that knife that killed her out of her stomach and using it against him. Next, she takes the thorn that caused her so much grief out of her side to show the pain being relieved. When Barkis drinks the wine, it symbolizes karma catching up to him. He spilled blood for greed, and in most religions, wine stands for blood. When Lord Barkis died, he turned bright blue, and also the dead are very bright colors. The bright color difference between living and dead symbolizes a happy feeling, like it's more fun to be dead than alive. When Victor, Victoria, and Emily are standing there watching the dead attack Barkis, it represents the path Victor needed to take. Victor needed to learn to love Emily in order to have the courage to fight for his true love, Victoria.